Does your Ford Explorer make this noise? And you want it to stop? Well, you need a new lower control arm. And that looks like this. And this is it. And this is the part number. And this is where we're replacing it. So you can see that's a pretty big job here. The coilover suspension here, the strut and spring actually connect to it out here, right here in this pocket. And then it's got the attachments here to the body on each side. And then it attaches down here to the little assembly right there. So we're gonna unhook those. Gonna unhook the sway bar link here. And once I unhook that sway bar, the hub, and these two, and the strut, I can pull the arm right out, put the new arm in, and away we go. And the problem is, it's pretty much, if you can see it, I've tried to grease it and it didn't make any difference whatsoever, but it's just the original arm. Now, granted, about a year ago, I actually had this arm replaced because I was doing it too. And typically it's gonna squeak right here on this one, or right here on this one is where mine squeaked. So when it compresses, you're gonna, if you put your hand here while somebody's compressing the vehicle, you'll feel it. It's actually like in a bind. You'll feel it squeaking in a bind and making the noise inside of here. And basically it's just where the sleeve has pretty much, like a lack of a better term, welded itself in there. And as it moves, it starts to make a bunch of noise. Even if you grease it, doesn't make any difference. So the best thing to do is replace it. Instead of trying to press those out and put rubber bushings in it, just buy the whole arm and be done with it. I'll put a link in the description to the arm that I got, which is this side. There are differences right and left, obviously. I'm gonna change this out real quick and the squeak will go away. So that way it's not embarrassing to your kid when you pull up in carpool and they get in and out of the car. It'll be nice and quiet again. Plus, once I get this done, I can actually go get the alignment I've been waiting to get done. And then I can put my new tires back on my 20-inch wheels and get rid of these 17-inch factory wheels and put my 20s back on it, which are over there. Just waiting for a new set of tires, and then we'll have the 20s back on the vehicle. So, little steps. You gotta do this first to get the alignment to get the wheels and tires. All right, I've removed the sway bar bolt, which is right here. I've removed the bolt out of the lower bracket here. Now, only two left. There's one up here, and there's one right here. Before I take those off, I'm gonna remove the one from the actual strut, which is right here. So I'll remove that one, take that off. That'll allow this to actually swing down. I'll move those to there, and then this will swing down. Now, before I get too far, I'm gonna take this loose. This is just basically just holds the emergency brake cable, and get that out of the way. And that should be it. Drop it right out. There's the old one, here's the new one, and we'll just compare it real quick. Take a good look in here, see how the bushings look. See right here, I guarantee you this right here is what's causing the squeak. See how that looks? Guarantee you that's what's causing the squeak. Before we stick the new one in, I'll go in here and I'll spray this with some cleaner, wipe that off real good on both sides, and we should be good to go. This is brand new. We'll wipe this off, and put it back together. And I always like to use a little lube on it just for chassis components. I like to use a little chassis lube on it and then put it back together. Real simple. All right, all tight. Everything's in place. You can check it out. Sway bars in. I did notice this rubber bushing's worse for the wear. Probably need to get a new kit for it, but for now it's gonna have to work. And I did notice I went to tighten this down. I had the bolt in backwards, so you want your bolt coming through this side with your nut on this side, easier to tighten up. And that's it. I did drill this out. That's a 1/4 inch bit, if you're wondering. Drill straight through, your bolt threads right in, and now your bracket's holding your emergency brake cable out of the way, and we're ready to go. Now we'll stick the wheel on it, and we should be ready to put it all back together. Inspect my pads, got plenty of pad life left. The rotors look like they're in good shape. And I just put studs on here. If you watch one of the video, had to replace a couple wheel studs. And I just replaced this strut and spring combo, and it's doing great. So now with the control arm and the strut, I can go get the alignment touched up, and we should be good to go. This thing's been running good with the transmission work I just did recently. So for my daily driver, it's doing very well. All right, we got it back on the ground. We'll do our same test again. The back is fixed. It's not squeaking back here anymore. That's good. All right, so test drive, perfect. I don't hear the squeaky anymore. I can definitely hear it inside the vehicle when I'd hit bumps out here on the road. And that's completely gone now. Ride's good. Well, wouldn't you know it? Go on the test drive, come back, just the suspension, just a hair. Basically, I backed it off a little over 1/4 of a turn. And I find this nail in my tire. So why not make this a life learning lesson for you guys and show you how to change it, fix it out. Here's some tire repair inserts I keep and the tools you're gonna need. So let's just go ahead and get this out here. Just a pair of needle nose should get it. There we go. Now we got that. We got this tool. Kind of looks like a drill bit. This is what we're going to use to open the hole and clean at the same time. So have this ready. Let's get this out. Like that. The offending nail. Okay, we got our hole clean. Move it back and forth, get the hole all opened up and cleaned out like you want it. Let that sit there. And we'll get our plug kit out. Gonna do here, gonna get these out like so. We're going to thread the needle, if you've ever seen this. Feed it through like this. Gloves all in the way, sticking to it. See if we can grab our needle nose on this side. Pull it through like this. What you want to do is get it halfway, like that. See where it's halfway? What we're going to do, we're going to insert this, and the trick here is when you insert it, you want to turn it like this before you extract it. So just don't put it straight in and pull it out. You want to put it in, turn it 90 degrees, pull it straight out. Okay, we put it in. Now we'll turn it 90 degrees, like so, and then you just yank it out. So you can see it. That's it. Tire's plugged. Just that easy. If we had any excess, we'd cut it off, because this is literally right in between the lines. That's gonna actually push itself in there real nice. So now, I'll take my air compressor and my gauge, and I'll put air in here and pump it back up to the right pressure for this vehicle, which I believe on this one I run at like 32 or 33 pounds of pressure, and put it back on the truck. We're pretty good to go. So, that's how to plug your tire. Add on to the video. Didn't know I was gonna have to do it today. But pretty easy to do. You don't need to take it to a shop. You can get these kits at pretty much any auto parts store. This happens to be called an Extra Seal Premium Tire Repair Kit. Okay, good luck with that.